aside from cutting a little bit of walnut, we're cutting some red oak. And this is what we call a true northern red. Real tight bark, good color in them. Back where we live in southwest Missouri, we have very little true northern red. We have a lot of black oak, which I don't think there's any difference in the lumber myself. Personally, I don't. I think when it saws out, I think it all looks the same, but we're starting them in the high gear still. One thing I will say is that the true northern red, a lot of times you cut it's got a real good pink color when the air hits it. The bark's a little different. Leaf patterns are about the same. But we do enjoy cutting the true northern red a little better. Kick it into the high gear. Oh boy. Thing will beat you to death. Now the guys are getting a few walnut out, but today our primary focus is trying to get some oak out so we can get a couple good loads of that for one of our suppliers. And really, I think the oak market, the red oak market overall in Missouri is kind of down right now. But like up here, like in northern Missouri compared to where we live, I think it is a little stronger. And we kind of have a formula for cutting it. You know, we don't like to harvest small timber. So when we're cutting oak, pallet material, stuff like that, like the red oak, we figure the trees need to at least have a 250 board foot per average tree to justify cutting them to where all parties involved, landowner and us, can benefit and make some money from it. And in turn doing that, you just don't go through and ransack the timber, make a mess of it. So I think it's a pretty good rule for us to work by. Kind of go along here. We'll go over here and sync up with the guys, see what they've got out. They're way ahead of me because packing these so far. Now we did have a gentleman comment about we should bring, you know, the Mack log truck up here and pre-haul logs. It'd be faster and take more wood in one turn. Yeah, maybe so. But in doing that, we leave a pretty big footprint on this field with a heavy Mack log truck coming in and out of here. Down here in this low area. This is down here in the drainage right here where they don't farm. So it is a little soft. Not terrible, but a little soft compared to this. But yeah, back to the log truck. Dad's using the Mack back home too, and we don't like to take it too far from home. We just kind of leave it for back home working. For what it costs, the time to bring it up here and the fuel, it's just as easy to use this skid steer since it's already on the job anyway, and this is kind of one of the reasons we bought it. So that's why we don't use our Mack to pre-haul a lot of these logs. Mainly we're trying to do this with minimal ground disturbance, because there are some soft spots you'll even find with this track skid steer in this field still yet. So by using the skid steer and the tracks packing these logs out, you really can't even hardly tell we were even in here. And that's one thing we really like. The guy's got a walnut out there. Here's the last red oak of this one tree. That's pretty good oak. Once the air hits that, kind of turns the wood pink. That'll be a really good looking log. Of course the sap's coming up, that's why the butts are wet. Water's running out of them. They're all the logs, not just the butts. But I'm going to set this right over here, then I'm going to go up here and start bucking logs. That's my job, to buck logs and work the deck. So we'll set this oak down here to where we can grab it in a second. We'll get to marking and bucking logs. We'll walk up the road here real quick. Kind of look down off in the bowl, as I call it. It doesn't look that steep from the camera, But I'll assure you, that's a lot steeper than it looks. And it's not like it's terrible. I know a lot of you guys out in Virginia and back east, you guys log goat country. And we don't have anything like that in this part of the world, nor do I really want to log jobs like that. But this is fairly steep. Let's get her back in there. They're going to get the rest of that sycamore. Kind of see him getting at it there. I'll wait till they get it up here to the deck and I'll start working it up, get her packed out. Yeah, some pretty good logs down here in this little bowl area. And some of this stuff's just stood too long and it's starting to go bad. We see a lot of that. We really do. Timber that just kind of, it's stood too long, should have been cut years ago, and it starts to decline in health. And even some of these trees are starting to decline in health. This big old oak here, I mean, it's starting to show some dead limbs there in the top. Honestly, that's probably better left for a den tree. You cut it down just by looking how swollen the stump is, the dead limbs up and down it, it won't be any good. So rather than waste the time, effort, and energy getting it down, making a mess, just leave it for wildlife. Try to be a good steward of the timber and a good conservationist. Leave her there. Deck's looking pretty good. It's wind's really picking up. There's a bad storm. It's supposed to be moving in tonight. Up here and down home both. The guys they're waiting to go to lunch. I'm packing the last one of these sycamore logs up here. Big sycamore, a lot of logs. A lot of logs. Give me a better view there. That is a big field, bigger than it looks. It just amazes me how they farm this with all these terraces and this steep ground. Now after lunch, we're going to try to come back and cut some. I don't know if we will or not, the way this wind's starting to blow. Because it is really getting up there. There's supposed to be some 40 and 50 mile gusts later today, so we'd like to try to get what's left down before that happens. So we'll see. Guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.